Hello, believers, and welcome to Call In Show number 31. I'm the host, Cade Moyer, and thank you for tuning in tonight. And if this is your first time, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. This is an opportunity if you have a story that you may want to share and kind of just want to get it off your chest. You're seeing something weird, you experience something that you can't quite explain. This is the perfect outlet to call up and share the encounter that you had. So we do have the number on the screen, and that is 0730403096. So if you do want to call in and share an encounter with me and the listeners and the watchers tonight, that would be great. Tonight we are casting to Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, be sure to like this, comment on it, let me know where you're from because that's really important. Everyone who's watching the live stream now, just comment and let me know where you're from because uh, we are thinking of taking this show on the road and we want to go to the place where we have the most listeners. So let me know because wherever that is, that's where we're going to go. So, and I'm going to get a quite an interesting team together. So we'll get a couple of experts from all different parts of the weird and the wonderful, and I think a nice live show would be great. So you let me know where you're from and we'll see if we can get a live show happening in your town because we wanted to do a live show when we crossed 1 million downloads and we're nearly at 2 million now, so maybe we'll do a 2 million download celebration show. So be sure to let me know where you're from. If you are watching on YouTube, if you can subscribe to the channel and also give us a thumbs up because that really does help the that YouTube algorithm, and we want to get as many people watching, get their eyes on this show as possible. So we can get the next big story on the podcast. So we are only a couple of weeks away from season 14 of the podcast dropping, which I'm really, really, really excited about. Season 14 was a little bit of a tricky season for me to record because you'll probably hear in a couple of episodes, maybe about half the season or something like that. Um, my voice is quite different. That's because I caught the spicy cough as I've lately heard it being called. So fully recovered from it all. I'm doing all good. It was crap. Do not recommend catching the spicy cough at all. But if you do notice that in season 14, that is why. So it is what it is. And guys, tonight it's just me. It's just me, and I'm hanging out with everyone who is hanging out with me tonight. So that's you. So be sure to drop it in the comments wherever you are from, because I will go back and I am gonna seriously pick a place ASAP because why not? The world's getting back to normal, I like to think, and it'd be good to get out there and mingle with a couple of you because I did notice that a couple of believers caught up the other weekend and did a I will call the first unofficial believe catch up, and they all did a camping trip together, which was super super cool. They did a little bit of yowie hunting and so and so, but man, that looked like the coolest event. So big shout out to Glenn. If you're watching, Glenn, great stuff, man. I hope you do 100 more of those because I think it is the coolest thing, bringing the community together. So also for people listening, we are also streaming this into our Discord. So if you are on Discord and you feel like you might need to get off Facebook or off the off YouTube, head over to Discord because you'll be able to hear this streaming through there as well if that's what you're into. So I've never done that before. So if someone can jump on there and maybe let me know if that's working or not, that'll be cool. And that might be something we look at doing in the future because I believe I can even get people in on voice with Discord. So that could be a way people share their stories in another way. So guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I have got myself a cheeky little drink. So if you're out there having a drink, let me know what you're having tonight. I am got some what is this? This is Patron Cafe. This is a rare specimen, rarer than finding a Yowie at the moment because it's a discontinued drink and it's a coffee infused tequila that I am absolutely smashing down on the rocks because this is delicious. I'm an absolute coffee addict if you are new to the show and you didn't know that. So also, talking about coffee, didn't mean to do this. Absolute segue is that we have got the 250-gram bags of coffee in of the Angry Yowie coffee. So if you do want to check that out, head over to cryptid.com.au. And if you use the special discount code of Believe, you'll get 10% off your order. So if that's something that you're into, the coffee is absolutely delicious. I am making liters and liters and liters of cold brew with it because I'm a cold brew guy. I don't know how you guys like your coffee, but that's how I like mine because where I live, it's about 400 degrees on a daily basis. So that's how I roll. So, guys, tonight I would love to hear if you have any questions or anything like that, because we are using the system where we can get the questions up on the screen, and we can do that. We can go from there, have a little bit of a chat. Otherwise, I'm just happy to sit here and spitball with you. So, Australian Yowie Research has chimed in, and those guys are fantastic. Maybe just keep an eye out. Maybe next month something cool could be happening with them. I don't know. But they said the Angry Yowie tastes great as a caramel latte. It tastes great any way you like it. I like my coffee black, so I'm as raw as it gets when it comes to my coffee. So, but yeah, maybe just keep an eye out for a special show coming out in the near future with the Australian Yowie Research guys because they're good dudes and I like to catch up with them as often as I can. So we might see what we can do. So Shannon says, great coffee K. Gary Lynn got me onto it. Yum. Fantastic, Gary. You're a good bloke. Can't wait to catch up with you, mate. Wink, wink. But thank you, Shannon. I appreciate the kind words, mate. It is very nice of you. So I will remind you guys that the call-in line is open 0730403096. And if you do have a story, now is the opportunity to call in and to get on the air early on, because what we usually find with these live call-in shows is the lines kind of stay quiet until about maybe halfway, maybe the last quarter of the show. Someone calls in and then it's balls to the walls, as they say. So if you do have a call or you have a story you want to share, now's your opportunity. The lines are clear, and you'll save me feeling dead air, because I tell you what, I can't do it. This is why the radio shows that you see only do about 5 minutes of air at a time, because well, that's radio. What can you say? Michelle says, did you have COVID, Kate? Yes. Me and my entire family. So my wife and my two daughters, we all caught it. Yeah, it was rough. That's the only thing I'll say. But yeah, it is what it is. So just look after yourself if you get it. Drink heaps of water. I drank so much water, and I think that helped me. I don't know. Maybe it was just my positive thinking that got me through it. I need to give a really big shout out to Anne and Renata from Frightfully Good. Those girls hooked me up. Check out this shirt, man. They are making me lift up my my promo game, because this is fantastic. If you have not checked them out, please do so. Head over there. They do so many cool things online. We actually had them on the last live call-in show. If you were here for that, if you weren't, that's what you missed out on. And we did some live tarot readings. So yeah, the girls are great. They sent me a couple of shirts, a couple of coffee cups, and some tarot cards. So who knows? I could be the next online tarot reader. I'm coming for you, Anne and Renata. Just joking. Those guys are fantastic. So heads up, they also do a really cool podcast that you should 100% check out. It is called True Hauntings. They've just kind of amped it up kind of in house a little bit, and they're going to be pumping out some great episodes, even greater episodes that they've already got out there. So if you are interested in hearing about like the true stories behind some of the world's best and most famous, infamous, depending on how you look at it, um, hauntings, definitely go check them out because they put their own flavor to it, and I think it's great. I'm piss my pants laughing all the time listening to it because those ladies are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet in the paranormal world. So be sure to go over there and give them some love. So, it looks like we got like a couple of questions about me getting the old C ovid. How long did it take to get over it? I don't know. It took me 5 days, 6 days. I don't know. That was like the hard part of it. And then I still get like waves of what do you call it? Exhaustion. Um, every now and then. And then I also get like these just crazy headaches out of nowhere. So but they're going away now, which is cool. So I lost my taste, and that was a total mind bend. It's so depressing when you're sick because you just want to eat all the crappiest food in the world that you can, and then you can't taste it. And I was like, just take me now. It was that was the worst part of it, I think, is just not being able to taste anything. That was a bit of a weird experience. So um just going to go through the chat here and just see what we do have on the line. And I have to give a heads up to everyone that I forgot to hit record tonight. Rookie error. So believe plus members, your audio might sound a little bit lower quality. You probably won't notice, but I just want to give you the heads up now. I went through all my protocols and just did not hit the record button. It is simple to do, and I hope everyone is absolutely laughing at me now. So, I was told if you see. Okay, here's a question from Michelle Pratt. I was told if you see a UFO, you have probably been in it. Anyone else heard this? Yes. Yes, this is like quite a common theory that's out there when it comes to the world of UFOs is that, they only show you only see them if they want you to see them. And this is all speculation because I am absolutely no expert. I'm just kind of regurgitating what I have been told. But yeah, if you have seen a UFO, you have probably been in it. Anyone else heard this? So yeah, I've heard the theory. I guess it is kind of. I guess that my question will be is, and I always like to ask these type of questions. It's kind of being devil's advocate because I think you need to be a really big skeptic in this world of UFOs, yowies, and the paranormal because it's so easy to dive headfirst into it. Um, that my first question would be like, what about the mass sightings of UFOs? Do you go down the theory of like, has everyone who saw that UFO then did that whole group of people get taken? Is that the case for something like that? Um, who knows? It very well could be. We don't know what these things are. Well, technically, we don't, and the general public doesn't. But yeah, that would be my question for something like that because I love the theory of like these things are so insanely advanced if that's what they are, that they would definitely have the drop on us like we wouldn't get the drop on them, is probably how I would say that. So um yeah, that's kind of how I think about that. Diana says spicy flu maybe moment. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. My head has not been the same since. So it's funny. So that's what I'll put it down to is spicy flu made me forget to hit the record button. So it is what it is. That stuff is so tasty. My goodness. Here we go. Kim Sultana has a great question. What is your most fascinating story? The here we go. politician answer. The next one I hear, because I think every story is fascinating in its own way. um, if you go to my YouTube comments or my iTunes comments, you'll see that people complain that I say fascinating too much. But stuff them. They can go start a podcast and I'll listen to them, and I'll criticize them over dumb shit. But the most fascinating story is it's always whoever I'm talking to, because I only get the people on the podcast who have had, something unique, something unusual happen to them, something that I find genuinely fascinating. And that's not to say that I say no to anyone coming on the podcast. It's actually very rare. But I like to put stories on the podcast that are different from any other story that's kind of been on there, because if I kind of put, say, UFO story after UFO story after UFO story on the podcast, that's cool. I love UFO stories, but I don't know if it would help people. And what I mean by that is I like to put stories on there that help people who have gone, you know what, I've never heard that experience before, but I've experienced that. So, I'm not alone in that world. So, fantastic news. We do have a call, so we'll get them live on the air. Caller, what's your name and where you from?
Happy. We do have calls, so we'll
Oh, sound like me. I think that person, whoever called up, just got disconnected. So, if that was you, please call back in, and I'd love to have a chat to you. So, Nathan asks a great question. Why do you think no Yowie bones have been discovered? Simplest answer is that they bury their dead. That would be that. These are almost effectively humans out there, and I would genuinely believe that they would have a great understanding of the importance of burying a dead body. There might even be a ceremonial reason for them to do so. But yeah, that would really be my reason behind that, is that they would bury their dead, or they would do something with that body that would be important to them. This is a big question that kind of gets asked over in the States a lot, because the amount of Bigfoot encounters over there compared to Yowie encounters is 10 to 1. And the question that I always hear from over there is like that same question, and the replies are, well, how many times do you see bare bones? And apparently, like grizzly bears, black bears, sun bears, all of that type of thing. Apparently, those bones are super rare to find, and that's just as gigantic, hairy creature as well. So, I think finding bones are harder or rarer than a lot of people would probably realize when it comes to large game type creatures like that. So we do have a call coming in. Caller, what's your name and where you from?
My name is Dean Harrison.
Oh, hello, Dean Harrison. I know that name. How are you, mate?
Good. Dean Harrison, Australian Yellow Research. Just listen to that last question. Why aren't there more bodies found? And the reason is, as you said, well, burying the dead. Of course, 200,000 years ago, Neanderthals and the hominids were burying their dead back in those days. So why would they be any different to these days? Plus, add to the fact that, as I always say, where you find one, there's another not too far away. So they handle themselves in groups. They do, in twos normally. And if something happens to one, obviously one's going to take care of the other. Now, there's a reason for that, other than ceremonial, as what you said. You don't want the other one's body picked apart by predators, naturally. And foremost, you don't want them found by humans. So by burying your dead, you're doing the ritual sort of thing and doing the right thing, and you're taking care of your own.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think for me, it kind of seems like it's a bit of a no-brainer type of answer to that because, a lot of skeptics are out there. Like, oh, we haven't found a dead body, we haven't found bones, and it's obvious why.
Absolutely, and as you know, as we saw in the footage, like the footage of April last year, we saw two come out of the bush. And when we were looking at the footage or reviewing the footage on scene at midnight and astounded, the first thing that came to my mind and the first thing that came out of my mouth is, see, this is what I'm telling you, where there's one, there's another not too far away.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it. They would genuinely have a there would be a how do I put this, a not a hierarchy system, but like a neighborhood type of feel. There would be a
Yeah, well, we
community.
see that's right. And I like to use the term clan,
Oh yeah, good one.
basically. And in these just certain clans, they behave differently. And this is something that we've observed over all these years. You'll see in different areas, different pockets of Australia, you'll see the differences in behaviour and what they do. Now, in southeastern Queensland and in particular the Gold Coast hinterland, they seem to be very passive and very respectful. They don't want attention brought to themselves, as where Sunshine Coast, Kilkeven, more aggressive, etc.
Yeah, it's funny because the people that I guess I interview in the Queensland region, all those encounters, they seem to be a more aggressive type of encounter. And I don't know if that's just, random luck by that person contacting me, but, you'll be the best person in the world to kind of ask this. And, just from what you said there, the warmer climate kind of yowies, they do seem a little bit more cranky, so to say.
Well, I mean, there's different ways you can think about it. Now, if you've got an area where you're living on the cusp of human society, human habitation, you'd have to adapt and behave accordingly. Now, if you're living in a more rural area where there's no people, you're probably not instilled with that fear or rule about how you behave around humans, because humans don't probably. Excuse me. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. So I think, like for example, if you look at an area that is far north Queensland, where you don't have the habitation of humans, you don't need to worry about the humans. It's not instilled in you because it's not a big issue. But if you're in the Blue Mountains, if you're in the Gold Coast hinterland, the Sunshine Coast region that's not habitated by humans as much, you're instilled about how to behave around humans because you don't want the attention towards yourself or yours.
Yeah, right.
You don't want people out there looking for you.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thought. Like I've never even thought, just the fact that there's more contact with humans makes them more aggressive.
Yeah, well, I just think that if you're living on that fringe area, you are probably instilled with behavioural aspects. You'll be taught how to behave around humans or not to be seen. I seem to find that it's around the more rural areas that they just don't sort of understand that, or they're not instilled with that, and therefore they're seen more often.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like they just really don't have to, I guess, watch their back is a way to say it. As much in those rural areas, just yeah, just because there's less traffic, there's less population, there's less interaction out there, so it does 100% make sense.
Right, that's my 2 cents. So I'm out.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in, mate. We'll well, I guess we'll chat next month just on the download.
Okay, we'll do.
Too
All right,
easy, mate.
bye.
Talk to you soon. Catch ya. Thank you very much to Dean Harrison for calling in from the Australian Yowie research crew. He is the head dog over there. So there's some really great questions coming in from the group. But I am going to save them because I think they would be very useful for a potential future show. I will answer one though because Nessie Monster has asked the question: does Dean think there are more than one type of Yowie in Australia? I'm going to field this one with what I know, and I'm going to say definitely, because there is also something out there called the Brown Jacks, which is kind of like a 3-foot version of the Yowie, and they're far more mischievous. They will do things a little bit more brazen from the stories that I've been told about them. And you know, they will even take people and taking them into the bush, and they're just kind of gone forever. So and even in Aboriginal folklore, you know, you hear the same things about the brown jack. So yes, there's definitely multiple types of like yowie like creatures out there. And there is other creatures out there that are bipedal that are completely unknown and genuinely scare the crap out of me from what I've seen and from what I've heard from people. So yeah, just genuinely bad things out there. So um all right, I'm going to go now to the chat because I did miss some really cool questions up here. So here we go. Some stories I've heard on this channel are so incredible regarding Yowie sightings or aliens, it's hard to believe they are real. What research do you do yourself to validate the teller's story? So Karina, really good question because I get this a lot. The main question I get on this podcast, doing this podcast from you know, close friends, other people who do like podcasting, is surely you can't believe everyone that comes on the podcast. And I say, yeah, absolutely, I do. Um, I have no reason not to believe the people who take the time out of their day to tell me about the encounter that they had, uh, they gain absolutely nothing from it because 90% of people who come on this podcast use their real name. They tell true locations. And, you know, a lot of these people kind of come from smaller communities. So we've had a good handful of internet sleuths find people and their houses and their location. So there's really nothing for the people who come onto the podcast to gain from that. You know, for starters, if you're one of those sleuths, don't do that. That is like stalker level stuff, please. But we do go through a vetting process with them. If you ask anyone who's kind of come on the podcast, it will be about 5 to 10 emails backwards and forwards. Some people I'll call before they kind of get onto the podcast. And the thing that the whole reason the show was called Believe is that the person coming on the podcast believes what happened to him. You know, the thing about these encounters is that they are so unique, so personal that the human psyche will kind of tell you what you're experiencing, and it may be a little bit different to what you're experiencing. I hear this all the time when it comes to, I guess, shared encounters, that one person will experience it completely different to another person. So the people that come on the podcast, they 100% believe the story that they're telling is exactly how they experienced it. And I can tell you the people that come on the podcast, a lot of people break down. They get quite emotional. I cut it out of the podcast because I don't want them to feel like they're embarrassed about how they reacted to their retelling or anything like that. But yeah, I genuinely will talk to the people for 20 minutes before the podcast starts and another 20 minutes after to really make sure they're okay from retelling the things that they said. So really good question, Karina. I appreciate you asking it. So yeah, we try to vet the people who come on the podcast as much as we can. um and I guess it's up to you as a listener to how much of it you believe, because the person coming on the podcast is 100% believing, and I'm a 100% believing of everything that they're telling me. So hopefully I answered you. But that was a really cool question. So thank you so much for asking that. So this is a great question from Nathan. How plausible do you think that it is that deep underground military bases exist that house alien beings and cities? I'm going to break this into two parts. And because I'm going to answer this, I might need a drink. Might be my last. So, deep underground military bases definitely exist. They exist in the Blue Mountains. They claim that they are growing mushrooms in there, believe it or not. But why do you need armed military guard at the entrance of a mushroom growing facility? Just saying. So that's something that exists. If you are brave enough, go around the Blue Mountains and look for it. And there's plenty of dumbs out there. So yeah, it is. They are definitely out there. Now, housing alien beings in cities, all speculation. Man, if I had my tinfoil hat on, man, I'm going straight down that rabbit hole and saying, man, there's like 18 levels and there's different types of aliens at every level. This is Dulce all over again. If you don't know the Dulce story, jump on a Google. So, yeah, definitely. They, I'd love to think there is. You know what? Like for the sake of a good laugh and a good story, let's say yeah, I'd love there to be aliens down there and cities, and man, take me down there. I wanna check it out. I'd love to interview an alien. Season 15, we go looking in the dumbs. So thank you, Nathan. Great question. And yeah, if you're in the Blue Mountains, definitely check it out. Michael Lane has chirped in to the question about the dumbs and said, "Yeah, my cousin said there is deep underground bases in Darwin. Definitely believe it. Anywhere there's a strong military base, it would just make sense to me for there to be an underground base there. So, yeah, check it out. If you're in a city with a strong military base, Townsville, man, I'm looking at you. Your army base is on a damn mountain too. So I reckon there's definitely something going on there. All right, I'm going back to the chat. So if you're new here, if you kind of just jumped in halfway through, again, let me know you're from where you're from, because we are looking to take the show on the road to one location. That's all I can afford. So if you are keen on us coming to your town, please put it into the comments below. If you are watching on Facebook, please share this video. And if you are watching it on YouTube, please subscribe and like. Definitely helps us. And make sure you keep commenting, because it does definitely help the show. So, a lot of people are saying, Karina, good question. Absolutely, Karina, that was fantastic. And oh, here we go. Karina, awesome. Thanks for answering my question. I completely believe everything on your podcast. Thank you. And you know what? That means a lot to the listeners. Sorry, to the guests as well. So, um, one thing I greatly dislike is when people kind of try to shit on the guests, and without the guests, this show just would not happen. The guests are the real MVPs of this podcast. I'm just the lucky dude who gets to share their stories with people. So, yeah, it is very, very important that, people feel comfortable coming on the show to share. Um, okay, here we go. Just need to pop this in. Christopher, hello from KT. I hope I said that right. Caddy, Texas, USA. Sorry I'm late. Mate, it's great to have you here. Thank you for joining in. Let me know what the time is there. I could imagine it's probably some crazy hour. So, Michael Lane, still looking out for Believe bumper stickers and wearing merch. Um, Okay. Is bumper stickers something you guys are genuinely interested in? Because that's something that I can get knocked up in a day or two. Let me know, because I work in the print industry. Oh, I used to, for like 20 years. And it's kind of how I just know how to get all these things kind of done. So yeah, if bumper stickers is something you're interested in, let me know. I'll reach out to my contacts and make it happen. I did see some people in cans driving around with some belief stickers on their cars, which, man, that got me excited. I acted like a teenage girl at a Bieber concert. Holy moly. My wife thought I was the biggest dickhead, but I was like, look at that car, it has a believe sticker. So for me, I thought that's cool. So yeah, let me know if you want stickers. Comment in the video that you're watching right now. Just a heads up that anyone who uses also the promo code Believe, if they go to Cryptid to buy coffee, um, I'm throwing in stickers, Believe stickers, because I've got a cupboard full of older stickers. So yeah, let me know, because I'll chuck them in there. I'm chucking them in there for everyone who uses that promo code. So we I think we got about 30 stickers left. So they could go fairly quick. So if you are interested in that, that's the only way to get those stickers, because I don't want to really sell them or anything like that. So um Nessie says, LMAO, that's adorable, Cade. Fangirling over Believe stickers. Hell yes. I get so excited whenever I see anyone who even listens to the podcast, or like shows any type of support. I'm like so internally grateful, because I think it's just the most amazing thing that a person like me talks into one of these bad boys, and you know thousands and thousands and thousands of people listen every month. I think it's so cool. um Hats off to anyone out there doing this as well, because it's a hard gig to get it up and going. So very cool. Oh, Glee Bratty, thank you very much. You got a big bunch of stickers coming your way. It is thank you so much for the support. I've had so much my own coffee, it is ridiculous. Okay, Glee says also about the stickers, yet with a Yowie and UFO incorporated. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I might even do like just some pure like UFO hunter or something like that, and Yowie hunter. Maybe not. Yeah, we research. What are you comfortable with, Dean? Let me know. I don't want to step on your toes, man. But yeah, we'll get something going out there. Just a quick one here from the Australian Yowie research guys. There's a lot of it. My God, the brain does not work sometimes. Tell you, it's the spicy cough knock-on effect. There's a lot of unexplained out there. We've had big black V craft fly over us while researching. Yeah, yeah. I friend of Australian Yowie Research and the podcast, a gentleman called Yowie Dan, uh, actually captured a UFO on infrared vision only. Like couldn't see it up there in the sky any other way. It was just there in infrared, which is super crazy. Another friend of the show, the guys over at the Paranormal Portal, Brent, he had a very similar encounter, where actually two encounters. He just recently showed me some really fantastic UFO footage that he just randomly caught with a crappy night vision camera, and it blew my mind and blew his mind. It was fantastic. If you want to go see that, just go watch any one of their live shows. They do about 4 billion in a bloody week, on YouTube here, and yeah, it is insane. I wish I had a copy of it. Actually, I should get it off him. I'll do it for next one. So, Alana Edwards, hi Cade, hi Alana. Nice to have you here. Australian believe hunters, real encounters by real Yowies. Is this a crossover? Are we a thing now, Australian Yowie research? Do we need to make this official? Let me know. I'll update my status. All right. This is a cool question. Sia asks, I heard Yowies can speak out language. What are your thoughts? I would genuinely assume they would have a dialect. Actually, this is a really good example because if you're new to this show, I interviewed Ron Moorhead, who has there's three pieces of Yowie Bigfoot evidence that are kind of, I consider, the holy grail. One is the Patterson Gimlin film. Regardless of what your thoughts are, if you think it's real or fake, it opened up a massive dialogue around the situation of Bigfoot and Yowies. Two is the Australian Yowie research thermal footage captured just recently. That shit is amazing. And three is the Sia is the, what is it called? Sierra sounds. Your name confused me. Here we go. That's terrifying. Just to think that these creatures are so close that you are, to capture that. I say to I said to Ron, like, what was going through your head when that was all kind of going on? And he just said, you kind of have to just suck it in and just stay brave, basically. Off the air, God, he was much more articulate on the air, that's for sure. And then there was also this one here, which I think is even more terrifying. That's the creepiest part of it. That's definitely the creepiest part. Crazy, right? Genuinely crazy stuff. And then some maniac in the I don't know if you could hear it in the recording, but it's kind of just before the Bigfoot kind of just went next level. It was he yelled out, "That's not nice." Could you imagine? My goodness. Yeah. So I think they do have some type of language. It is what it is. I don't know. It could be just something so very, very primal. Because we don't really know how they would communicate in that. I guess in that type of communication format. Like they could use other ways, like lean and really woo. Like who knows? They might do like telepathic communication or something like that. So, yeah, Nessie Monster. Oh my God, that sounds terrifying. Yeah, it is so bad. It's so bad. I just imagine. Ugh, I wouldn't even know how to react in that situation. Like that would just be as my friend Shannon from the Into the Fray podcast would say, it's a real brown pants moment, and she's not wrong. So, but I did see that the AYR boys did chirp in here, and they say they mimic us very well, but it's proven that they have their own language. So yeah, there you go. It's actually I do recall that Ron said that they did get a very well renowned speech analyst or language analyst to break down the Sierra sounds and the samurai chatter and the I think they call it the Apala chatter from memory. Those are the two sounds that I just played for you. And said like there's definitely a structure to it. So like there's definitely a language in there somewhere. Crazy to think how imagine what they're talking about. Imagine what they're talking about. It'd be interesting. Um just going back here to the chat here. Have you seen a yowie? I don't know. I have seen a very large figure that was black and from a distance of about 60 meters away. Um, that was about it. And it was in my peripherals. So I turned, I was out on my patio, and we lived at the top of this very big mountain type of thing. And out there, saw this thing in my left eye peripheral because I was looking over the mountains, and I was like, "What was that?" And I looked back, and it was gone. What it was, I couldn't tell you, but this thing would have been 7, 8 foot tall if it was where I thought it was, because I actually left my house and went around over there to see like what it was, because there was a house getting built there, and I didn't want anyone to be kind of causing a ruckus in the building area. So yeah, I went over there, had a look, and yeah, I had a look where this thing was, and it was gigantic. If it was where I perceived it to be standing, yeah, 7 or 8 foot tall. Do I know what it was? No, but very interesting to note that about 3 or 4 months ago, the Australian Yowie boys passed on uh, I guess, lead that someone spotted or had an experience with a Yowie that would have been 4 kilometers away from where that was. So who knows? But where I did live did back onto very lush mountains. Geez, it may even been about 2K. It was really close. It I used to go to this place on the weekend with my daughters to feed turtles. And yeah, this person kind of encountered or heard the Yowie on the other side do this gigantic roar. So who knows? Also at that house, I did have an experience where I would hear a lot of bipedal kind of creatures walking under the house. Now it's not unusual to hear bipedal walking where I lived, because there was a lot of like bush turkeys and things like that in that area, that would frequent under my house, because the house that I built was 13 meters off the ground. So it was like on these gigantic steel beams. Hot tip, never do that. It was the worst experience of my life. So anyway, one day I look down and I see there was this goanna absolutely just torn to pieces. There was like blood everywhere, and like it was just kind of legs ripped off, arms ripped off, ripped in half. It was just like this. I didn't know what would do that. Um, I don't know if goannas fighting do that. I just thought it was very, very weird. And yeah, that was intense. Like I didn't know what to think of that. But I just thought it could have been something under the house. It could have been. Yeah, I didn't want to think, hey, here, this is definitely a Yowie, because that type of stuff really wasn't on my radar to the extent that it is now. But it could have been like a dog, a wild dog, a dingo, like who even knows? Like there's so many things out there that really could have done it. And like personally, I think it potentially could have been another goanna that did it. Because yeah, they're as we here we go here. One Burgo 7 says goannas are extremely vicious. Yeah, they're savages. So um who knows? I don't really put a whole lot of thought into that experience, just because I don't see enough connections between the two to make it a to try and make it a thing, so to say. Michael Lane says maybe it was a gift for you. It's a pretty shitty gift. No, maybe who knows? I could have been. Just I won't lean into that. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Karina is coming in with some really great questions. So, uh, what do yowies eat? Other animals? Could yowie DNA be extracted from animal carcasses? Good question. I've been watching Forensic Files a lot, and if you haven't watched Forensic Files, you can get like forensics from everything. Could it hold up in in court? Who knows? But yeah, I would imagine yowies are fairly dominant hunters in their area. Um, I would imagine they would eat meat. I'd imagine they'll eat roots and veggies and bark and everything like that. Um, yeah, it's I would imagine they're omnivore creatures, much like humans. So I don't think they would really have the um, I guess emotional mindset to turn vegan. They probably wouldn't understand the reasoning behind it. Who knows? I could be wrong. Um, yeah. AYR says, including the family dog. Yep. Sorry, Fido. Yeah, we food now. Pretty intense stuff. But guys, we are right here at the end of tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been quite a fun night. Thank you so much for Dean Harrison calling up. Always fun hanging out with Dean, and who knows, we might be hanging out more very, very soon. For those who are interested, go check out the coffee. It's really good. I'm addicted. I'm so addicted to coffee. I decided to create my own and call it Angry Yowie, because why the bloody hell not? If that interests you, 10% off if you use the promo code Believe on checkout. I do have some other stuff I need to spruce with you guys. I know you guys may not like it, but it pays my bills. Go join Believe Plus. This is the only way you're going to be able to rewatch what you just saw tonight. So this audio will be going to Believe Plus only, and video too. So head over to BelievePod /plus to get that. But it has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you tonight. I am going to go get some more tequila with coffee in it because chef's kiss, absolutely love it. It has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you all. And again, just because I'm going to leave this up for 24 hours, so this will give you all a chance to come back to the podcast and just leave a comment on where you live. So I do have one question here. Michelle asks, Kate, have you released any episodes? I have released about 130 of them, but at the moment, I'm on break. I'm in between seasons. So I think the show comes back in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I'm actually going to start editing season 14 as of tomorrow. So if you're a Believe Plus member, you're going to start getting episodes dropping very, very shortly. And I have one very special episode within season 14 that I'm really excited to show you guys. Completely different format. You might love it, you might hate it, but whatever the result is, I know you're going to tell me. So yeah, let me know what you think. Make a show where you go out with AYR. I was supposed to be down with the AYR guys a couple of weeks ago, but I got the spicy cough and couldn't go down. I was very, very devastated by that because, it's a, geez, could you imagine the fun would have? Be good. It'd be good. So yeah, to let you know, season 14 is coming in about 3 or 4 weeks from memory. But if you do want to get access to bonus episodes and early access to season 14, become a Believe Plus member because you'll get that about a week or two before everyone else. AYR says they're going to wrap him in bacon as bait. Good luck, mate. Good luck, because I will eat it. But look, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you've all enjoyed your drinks as much as I have. I'm going to go get a couple more. And I will see you on the next live show. Till then, catch you later.